Hi, folks. It's a real pleasure to see you all again. Hey, little fella. Ha, of course I didn't forget about you all. Well, if we're all ready, it's time for another edition of TV Heaven. To TV Heaven, Telly. This is the show where the nation's sexiest, raunchiest entertainers reveal all they love and hate most on telly. Tonight we've got the ideal guest for the show. He's funny, he's young, and he's been a bit ill recently, so he's watched a lot of telly. Please welcome Mack.
Hello, Sean.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, your first choice tonight is it's TV Heaven. It's Stars in Their Eyes. Or In Stars' Eyes There. What is it you like about Stars in Their Eyes so much?
Well, because it's totally, like, surreal TV, isn't it? I mean, that's what I love about it, because I was, like the rest of us, I was chugging along nicely watching TV, mid-80s, sort of like that, thinking, this is great, I'm loving it. But what I really want to see, more than anything in the world, is a meat packer from Darlington pretending he's the bass player from the Thompson Twins. When's that going to happen?
Yeah.
And then Matthew Kelly saved my life.
Yeah, well, I think for a lot of people, the most interesting thing about the show is guessing who the contestant's going to be. And have a look at this clip. And if you can guess who he's going to be, you're either clairvoyant or the friend that put him up to it.
Tell me a bit more about him.
Well, his stage name is an anagram of his surname.
Yeah?
And he sang the theme tune to this film, Never-Ending Story.
Tell us who you're going to be tonight, Jonathan.
Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Limahl from Kajagoogoo.
Limahl!
Hey, girl. A little closer. 'Cause you're too shy, shy. Hush, hush, I want to shy, shy. Hush, hush, I want.
It doesn't get any funnier after that. He peaked and after about the first second, but...
It's surreal, like you said, and I love the fact, and that clip's great, because I love the fact that he does say, you know, to try and give clues, he says that this singer is actually an anagram of his surname. That's only a clue if you give us his surname. Otherwise, it's not a clue, is it?
No.
You're not going to go, let me work this out.
So I have to guess the surname of someone I don't know who they are.
And then work out if it's possible to make an anagram of them, and is that person famous?
Yeah.
What people don't realise, that was a 4-hour record, just up into that bit, some sort of short, Limahl! And action.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't tell him, he just sat there going, no, until you guess it. There's no dancing about from me. Yeah. OK, well, let's move on to the real reason you chose the show,
I'd like to point out that even though I love Stars in Their Eyes, right, that in itself wouldn't be enough for me. I wouldn't have chosen it if it wasn't for this next thing.
Yeah.
Because to me, this has gone into my head. I dream about this as the most surreal piece of television that has ever been on TV.
But I have never seen that dress you wear, or the highlights in your hair that catch your eye. I have been blind, the lady in red is cheek to cheek. There's nobody here. There's nobody here. It's just you and me. It's all good. And I can't be wrong. This beauty by my side. I'll never forget the way you look tonight.
Is it gone, yeah?
It's gone, yeah.
Is it gone?
It's gone.
Promise?
Yeah.
Promise it's gone. The thing is, right, there's one thing I know that you shouldn't really do in life, and that is to look into the eyes of another man dressed as you and then have the audacity to say, I've never seen you looking so lovely. That's not permissible, is it?
It's troubling, isn't it? In so many ways.
I don't know where to start. Where do you want to start?
Well, I just want to know what he whispered to him. I like this idea he went, I'm not the real De Boer either. It couldn't be us.
I love the bit at the beginning, you know, when he looks at the camera and goes like that.
Maybe he knew. Maybe he knew there'd be loads of people around the country shouting at the telly, going, no!
It's just mental, and it's just... I'm sure there's one bit where he sort of, like, looks like he's about to touch his own replica face. And, at one point, he's going in for a kiss.
Yeah. Well, I think Chris would
kiss himself.
Do that, but not in a homosexual way.
No, that's different, though. It's like masturbating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's just him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just him, you and me. It's where I want to be.
Yeah.
You know? Just me. Right? These are the bits you don't hear on Lady in Red, aren't they?
Yeah.
And look at those faces, I mean... One of them's got, like, too many features and one hasn't got enough.
Well, most people who appear on Stars in Their Eyes, you know, end up working back at Asda. But for Ian Moore, it was the Asda car park.
Yes, I'm just a clown who picks you up each time you're down. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, yeah.
People from Asda tell me that we had a lot more here for Ian Moore than they had for Christy Burke.
What does that say to you?
It says that we've got a big star. I think he's the new star of the millennium, don't you?
He's really put Hull on the map now. Yeah, it's brilliant. Credit to Hull.
Put Hull on the map. All we've got to do now is give that map to the US Air Force and... everything will be sorted. Well, Chris De Boer turned up that night, because Asda were doing a buy one, get one free special. But I think he wants him to stop. That's the reason he's coming. He wants you to stop, because you're doing my gigs for a third of the money that I get.
Is that what he whispered, do you think, at that moment?
Yeah.
Lady in Red, this has got to stop. He's dancing with me.
Yeah.
I mean it, I'm not fucking about. Cheek to cheek.
I'm going to break your legs. OK, we're staying in heaven for your next choice, and it's something you love. It's a double act between one man and his arm.
Why is it so aggressive?
It's not aggressive.
Not much. Not all the time. Lunatic.
It's not.
Rod Hull and Emu there.
I love Rod Hull.
What do you like about it? Do you like seeing people getting attacked?
No, there's so much more to it than that. I think that's what people think. I think people think that it's just a bloke attacking people with a puppet, but what was brilliant about it was that he genuinely... without sounding too poncy about it, he brought it to life. I really, for years, still a bit confused about the fact that, how does he do this? I mean, and then someone explained that that's a false arm. I don't know if you knew that. That's... but I found that...
The one that's hanging over like
that's
that.
Right, the one that doesn't
about
move.
2 foot longer than his other
that's
one.
That's right. There's a different colour to that arm.
Yeah,
that's not real.
Yeah.
It's the fact that he would attack someone, beat the hell out of them, and meanwhile there's another thing going on where he was having to stop it, get off, and it was like so believable the way he was like separated from the bird.
He was very skillful at it, wasn't he?
Because even to this day, people still... I'm sure Michael Boxer still blames the bird. Because you don't associate it being him, you know what I mean?
Do you think so?
I think he does. He's like, Rod Hull's all right, but you know, the birds.
It wasn't just stars like Parky that suffered from his groping and grabbing. The whole nation was happy to be pecked and groped by Rod.
All frozen food. You never know. They might have some frozen soup.
She's supposed to take them out.
course they'll do. No, but I mean, you can't get any funnier than that, can you? Throwing yourself in a freezer.
No.
That's brilliant.
He did that really well as well.
He does it unbelievably well.
Yeah.
That's
not a soft landing. You're landing on, like, frozen burgers, just frozen stuff.
Yeah. You'd have to list it. It's all hard.
Yeah. Well, he's pecking that woman at the till, and he's pecking those women. He actually gets her by the throat. And she's going...
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But I think there is an element that you have to go along with it. But I mean, I've got one here. Got one of these things here. And I think this is the point of entry.
I could sort of, in a strange way, see where this is leading. Sort of.
No, I'm not going to go near you.
Oh, right.
No, I can't. His mouth's all screwed up.
Yeah, it's not quite as frightening with a cleft palate. Can you sort that out? I think he's going to... That's not quite the same, is it? Yeah, not so easy now, is it?
I think he's had a stroke. Maybe Rod had really big thumbs. I don't know.
Yeah.
There we go. That's
okay.
it. That's better. There we go. Does that look cute? I got there.
I'm looking forward to...
You should look at me. Yeah. You happy with that? Ow! Ow! So did he ever attack himself?
Of course, he just threw him in a freezer. No.
That's why I like your shoes.
Do you know what? I've been thinking about your argument. Shut up! You can't attack me!
Sorry, just... Sorry. See, it's a lot more difficult than it looks, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you can't retaliate. You can't attack...
because have you met my mate, Stephen the Shoe? You met him? Stephen the Shoe?
Yeah, come on.
I actually looked down because I'm northern to check I haven't got a hole in my sock.
Stroke him, stroke him.
No, stroke him. Nice, it's nice.
Stroke him. That's what you should do, just stroke him.
Yeah, do you know what? I've changed my mind. I think Rod Hull and Emu were rubbish.
OK, that's it for part one, and we'll be back with more of Lee Mack's TV Heaven, Telly Hell after the break. Welcome back to TV Heaven, Telly Hell. I'm here with Lee Mack, who's telling us what he loves and loathes on TV. OK, your next choice is our first visit into Telly Hell with a consumer show, Are We Being Served? And this guy that presents it in particular, Arkin Saleh. Why do you hate this show?
This is the most evil television programme that has ever been made. It's just basically, for those who haven't seen this show, it's a bloke who goes round shopping with a hidden camera to show us how bad 15-year-olds are at serving. Well, who would have thought?
Yeah. Well, it's basically the only amazing thing about the show is, you find out that some people who work in shops don't really want to work in shops. And they may be just doing it to pay the rent or get some money for food or beer, probably. But here he is. There's a clip of him here. He's using hidden cameras to spy on the underpaid and the overworked.
Arkin Saleh is a toughie, a top customer service expert. He's a staff training consultant at a top store and accepts nothing but the best.
I was wondering if you have this full size 15-inch colour, please. Yeah, I looked there, that's where I got that one from. Do you not have any in stock?
I purposefully didn't say anything because I just wanted to see, is she going to come up with any alternatives? Is she going to show me a similar shirt, or is she going to offer to ring another branch, or is she going to offer to tell me about when the orders come in? But nothing. We just, so we just stood there in silence for a couple of seconds because I wasn't going to say anything, and I don't think she knew what to say.
She doesn't really seem to have a clue what she's doing.
Finally, she turns around and says, "Yeah, they've got one." So straight, okay, so second floor, reservations desk, Marble Arch.
Marble Arch. Okay. Oh, Marble Arch?
Yeah. And it's like, I didn't ask for Marble Arch, I asked for Oxford Circus. It's a completely different store.
It is a completely different store, but it is in the same street.
And
what an insufferable tosspot.
You see, I like the fact that it's subtitled as well for those people that can't speak condescending twat. Yeah. I love the bit when she introduces them at the beginning, when she says, Arkin, he's a toughie. Oh, yeah, he's a toughie, isn't he? Oh, I said Oxford Street! No! Oh, I'm not having it! No! I asked for a size 15 and then I got 14. I'm a toughie. Oh, for crap. These are people that haven't got the right clothes. They're not paedophiles. But what? It's just this idea that it's some sort of important thing, you know. And
It's like walking behind a road sweeper and going, "Oi, mate, you missed a bit." Yeah. Go on, pick it up. Pick it up! It's just nasty and unnecessary. It's like finding fault in something which, you know, nobody expects great service in a shop.
Exactly.
It's not 1926. You know, I'm not Lord Rothermere. You know. I expect, when I go into Boots, I expect some badly motivated girl with skin problems just go... I like that. I find that reassuring. So when I go to shops, I go, anything you want, I just go, go away! Leave me alone!
There's one bit of that particular show, I think, where he's buying some shoes and he wants to test out the bloke who's selling him the shoes. He goes, can you recommend some socks to me to go with these shoes? If that had been me, I'd have gone, you are mixing me up with someone who gives a fuck. Right? Choose your own bloody socks. Right? Sometimes, Arkin, you're on your own in life. There's not going to be someone there to help you. You've got to think for yourself, the socks.
Yeah.
But, you know, just this idea that someone's going to be there, everything... Listen, I'm under no illusions. The service in this country is pretty rubbish, right? But I'm also... I've been to America, and I don't want a load of grinning, inane, false twats pretending they care when they don't. Not the Americans, the people that work in the shop in America. Fuck it, all Americans. Right? And you can't win. You can't win. Because there's a bit, right, where what he does is he carries on the argument for a while. And he goes, I need a different size, like a 15 or a 14. Like it's one big bloody musical, right? He goes, right? So the shop assistant, fucking hell, I'll go. So she goes off, she has a look. He then has the cheek to look in the camera and go, she's left the till unattended. There's people behind me waiting, there's no one here. That's because of you fucking idiot. Christ.
No, he's a monumental cock. My name is Sean Locke, and I said that on television, and I mean it. OK, well, we're going to move on to your next choice, your next and your final choice. It's TV Heaven for you, and it combines every bloke's idea of perfect telly, which is sport and drinking.
Now then, just slipped out for a minute from the biggest bonanza of sporting skill I've ever clapped eyes on. Down here at the Queen's Hotel in Leeds, we've got 60-odd of the best players I've ever seen in my life. None of your Charltons and your Geoffrey Boycotts, mind you. This bunch of lads are kings at those sports you get up and down the land in every pub.
Player requires 40.
Yes,
That was Indoor League from 1973. It's quite a cult show, you know, now, which in my experience usually means it's rubbish. But tell us what you like about this one.
I just love it. That was prime-time television, and then it didn't quite work out like they expected. They shoved it back at the 5:15 slot, so it's virtually kids' TV. Now, in a world of faceless, BBC broom cupboard type young presenters, right? Wouldn't you prefer to see a bloke on Blue Peter going, now then, right? I made something I want you lot to make, but, right, you'll have to wait, because I've got my pipe, I've been piped.
I managed.
It always went.
No, anyway.
But it was mental. I mean, this was proper. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I grew up in a pub in the 70s up north, and we did have games like that in the pub. And to see that as treated like the Olympics by Fred Truman, it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's just...
Anyway, they play a lot of Shove Halfpenny in the show in Indoor League. We're not going to show it because it's too boring. But we got some other bits.
And George seems to have got a 9 in 1. Now he is on a maximum. The maximum at this game is 27. I personally have never seen it done. The most I've ever seen is 25. Oh, what bad luck we were on.
Now remember, all you lots out at Trent, this is real darts on a Yorkshire board. No trebles, no floaty shots, just a hell of a lot of skill.
Here we go. That's better. Oh!
Well done, Jim.
The drama, the stark naked drama.
Stark naked drama.
Oh. I love the way Fred says, this is, for all you lot in London, right, This is a proper board with no trebles. Is there any bloke in the world that can make a treble sound like a sign of homosexuality? Trebles? Queers.
There's something really poncy about throwing a treble.
Aye. Oh, you mean for ladies?
It's a rare chance to get to see a really good cheese skittler in action, though.
What?
Yes, because, you know, those guys, he was at the top of his game then. His hair was like a waterfall, wasn't it? Just some grease, just a waterfall of greasy hair.
He looks like he's murdered.
I'd like to see a spin-off, Cheese Skittler's Wives. Just a load of women in housecoats grumbling about the price of braising steak. Going, oh, bloody hell, it's gone up again.
I love the bit that we didn't see there was the intro to that clip where Fred Truman goes, and now for the first time ever on British television, cheese skittles. Yeah, Fred, there's a reason for that, right? I mean, it's brilliant, though. You know, that's just...
It's a great show.
If it was up to me, I'd have it as an Olympic sport. I mean...
But so you were great... It was a lad growing up in a northern pub. Was it nice?
We had... No, we did. We had... Listen, you condescending southern shit.
I'm pissed they put something in that beer.
We did. We had darts.
Was it nice in your pub up north? Yeah. I'm like parking it. Was it nice, was it? Yeah. Can I have another one of those? So what was it like, going up a northern pub? Did you get, like, people going, little fella, and then give you a clout?
Well, the thing is, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I'm now supposed to sit here, defend... You know, because you're slightly doing it as a joke, you take the piss, but I'm now going to defend it. But if someone's just turned over and doesn't know the setup to this, I'm going to be going, the problem with you, Sean, is you're stereotyping the north. You are stereotyping the north, and I won't have it. I won't have such nonsense.
Happened. Well, Lee, thanks for that glimpse into your TV heaven, telly hell. And before you go, is there any performance you'd like to repeat?
Do you know what? There is, actually.
Marvellous. Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Mack! Lee Mack, who are you going to be for us tonight?
Everybody says I look like this person. Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Limo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Limo!
Hey, girl. You're too shy, hush, hush, too shy, hush, hush, too shy, hush, hush, too shy, hush, can't believe it. Shy, shy, hush, hush, Modern medicine for swallowing your complaint. Come on, die! Turning apart. In circles, want you, darling. Baby, try to be shy, shy. Hush, hush, to shy, shy. Hush, hush,